Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live, and tonight is a really big show for me. This is episode 25, and I can't believe I have 24 of these episodes with incredible musicians. So 25 is big for me. I have so much more to come. And I just want to thank you guys for your support thus far and continuing to support these musicians just because this is such a fun journey for me. So tonight we have Savannah Low, and she's a singer-songwriter based out of Dallas, Texas. So she's going to pop in the room, but I start every show with a song lyric. So tonight, the song lyric that I'm going to share with you, actually, Savannah just popped in the room, so I'm going to bring her in and I'm going to share the song lyric when she pops in. So, all right. Savannah, if you could just request me. Hi guys, welcome, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Hi Kerwin, Aaron. Hi Jen. Hi guys, how are you? Thank you guys so much for appreciate you. Hi Savannah.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing well. How's your night going?
So great. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having
I
me.
I know, I'm so happy to have you. So I start each show with a song lyric, and because I saw you pop in the chat right on time, I want to share my song lyric with you because you know this song very well. And it kind of just, I share a song lyric that speaks to me and can resonate with my audience. So I'm just going to hop right into it. So the song is Rise Up from Andrea Day.
Okay.
I know, and you've covered this song before. So the lyrics that I'm going to share are, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do those lyrics mean for you?
I actually chose to cover that song. I think it was right in the middle of whenever we first started going on shutdown. And I think it's really important to share messages of hope and resilience and to remember that no matter what you've been through, you've still overcome it. So anytime that you do face a challenge, you can remember everything that you've risen above, and that'll help you have strength to get through whatever you're dealing with in that moment.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's such a powerful song, not just, 3 years ago, but right at this present time that we're all dealing with just waking up. And sometimes we don't feel 100%. Sometimes we wake up, we feel 20%. And it's like, just rise up and just tackle the day the best way that you know how to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, even if you have 20% that morning when you wake up, if you give 100% of that 20%, then
Yeah.
you've succeeded. You know, you've had a good day.
Yeah. And it's something we all struggle with. Like, there's days I wake up and I'm not feeling it, but I just try to get myself in the moment and just like, what do you do to get yourself out of a slump? Or like if you wake up and you're not feeling great, like what do you do to bring yourself up out of that?
Well, I start each moment with a meditation and just like a minutes of silence to try
Yeah.
and really get myself centered and like you said, I think mindfulness is important to live in the moment. And then I think it's very important to express gratitude. I usually say the things that I'm thankful for out loud or write them down. Um, and even the smallest things like having a roof over your head or having uh, the ability to still communicate with each other. If this pandemic had happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would have been completely cut off from our loved ones. So with the advancements of technology, it's really great to be able to still talk to each other. Little things like that, whatever you can find. I think that it's essential to express gratitude in order to have a good day, and to start off and be like, okay, well, all of these things that I am blessed with, I can keep that in mind, even if I feel, a little bit overwhelmed or anxious or anything else that we've been kind of experiencing as a collective, you know.
Mhm. How long have you been meditating for?
I started in March. May. I think I started in May. Yeah.
And you feel that it's benefited you greatly?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm one of those people that if I try something that I'm not familiar with, or if I have to experience something, go through something, try something new that I haven't done before, I do a ton of research. You know, I watch YouTube videos or I go online and I read articles, and I really appreciate the fact that there are so many studies on how much benefit you do receive from mindfulness and meditation, because it's scientifically proven to help your body, you know, relax and help to release the chemicals in your brain that you need. And I think that's really important to know. You know, in so many training levels, you know, they do it with scientists and people who are in the military, and basically it's something that everybody can do to just kind of unlock living in the present moment and being fully there.
Mm-hmm. And it's so important to find that mindfulness and be in the moment. Because you're right. Like simple things like I have a roof over my head, I have food in my fridge. Like we all take these things for granted, but like there are so many people that are without right now. So we are truly blessed to have the things that we have in our lives.
100%. Absolutely.
So let's get right into this and start with the beginning. How old were you when you first got into music and who inspired you?
Oh my gosh. So I've been singing professionally for 18 years. I was 9 years old, had my very first paying gig. And I would tour around, and I started out with country music. Uh, I mean, I love it. I grew up on it. You know, the type of music that I would sing would be like Patsy Cline or Leanne Bryant, you know, Leanne Womack, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, you know, all the classics. And I travel around with my family, my mom and my dad, and sing at Opry's and, you know, the Cowgirl Hall of Fame, things like that. And it really gave me the experience to know how to lead a band and how to be a team player, how to have that onstage experience. It's always been kind of in my DNA. It's always been something that I have been doing, you know. It's a part of my life so much that I've been spending more time singing than I have anything else, you know. But I then, when I was about 13 or 14, I don't know if my mom's still in here. She could comment and tell you the exact age, but
Hi, Mom. I hope you're in here.
she's a breast cancer survivor, and I used to sing in a group called God's Country Kids, and we would sing in nursing homes and retirement homes. So we'd sing for, you know, Relay for Lives and other nonprofit events, and just kind of spread joy and to people through music. And at one of the gigs, hi mom, at one of the gigs, my mom was talking to a few other hi Molly parents, and she discovered that we all had, with three other girls, we had family histories of cancer. And
Mhm.
so she had the idea to start a quartet to raise money and awareness for breast cancer. And we began, you know, touring around, and actually were able to do that for about 5 years and raise about $250,000 for cancer research. And
Wow.
yeah, we had some cool experiences. You know, we got to sing for a crowd of about 20,000 and open up for the Jonas Brothers, and, you know, do a lot of really cool things. And that taught me how to really maintain professionalism, because we did, you know, we were on like Good Morning Texas and stuff. So it really did introduce me to how much goes on behind the scenes of being an artist, and how you can't just get up there and sing. You know, it's an actual full-time job, and you have to learn much more than just your craft. You know, you have to learn skills that people wouldn't necessarily associate with somebody who was an entertainer.
Mhm. And what are those skills for those of us who are not entertainers? What are those skills?
It's really about interaction. I believe networking is very essential. It's about being able to represent yourself in the best way possible. You know, not, I think that there is an emphasis on authenticity, that if you maintain that throughout your career, that people will realize that, you know, you've never tried to be something that you're not in order to gain fans or a following. And people appreciate that type of honesty. interviewing skills, how to be in front of a camera, that kind of thing is it's important to find that out, little tiny things that people wouldn't think about, like don't chew gum, don't have hair ties on your thing for photo shoots, there's a plethora, of things that are important to kind of have in your back pocket that separate you from just somebody who wants to do it and then somebody who does it professionally.
Mm-hmm. Right, because early on, those people that don't want to do it professionally and aren't serious, they're weeded out very early in the game. Very early.
Yeah, a lot more to the career than, I would practice for about 4 to 6 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And just to protect, like, go learn your craft the best that you can, master your craft. And then also to learn things like music theory and how music is built, to do your best at understanding production. I think is very important as a vocalist to know, to really develop your ear for that type of thing. And it will, the further that you delve into being a self-sufficient artist, even if you're a vocalist or whatever kind of musician you are, the further that you develop your skills in understanding the big picture, the more you can contribute to your process as a whole, and the more you can say, okay, this is my sound, this is what I want, instead of just kind of riding the wave of what other people try to influence you or say is popular right now.
Yeah, because if you're easily swayed, you'll be like, okay, I want to do this. But you have to stay true to yourself and learn all those facets of the business, because then you can say, no, I don't like that. No, we're going to do it this way. Oh, I'm going to start, being an engineer or doing the production side. And then you kind of have full reins over your career.
Right. And I think that a lot of that is knowing who you are. I've, ever since the shutdown and I couldn't perform anymore, I've been offering vocal lessons over FaceTime and Zoom and virtual lessons. And I've also been offering artist branding classes. And one of the things that I teach in those is just to say, hey, if you are not, and Avery's in here. Hi, girl. I've talked to her about this too. So one of the things that I really try to stress is that if you're attempting to emulate somebody else or follow what works for somebody else, if you're trying to follow the same path, or then you're always going to be second best to that person. Nobody can do like you, so if you're trying to be somebody else or to make the kind of music that other people make, or if you're trying to be like, oh, well, this is trendy right now, so let me copy these production ways, or let me try to write a song like that, let me use that type of music, that if that's not really who you are, you're always going to be second rate. If you're truly if you're going to be genuine and authentic, then there's nobody else that can come in and say, oh, I'm going to be Ashley is as great as Ashley is going to be Ashley. Nobody can do that, because each individual person has their own strengths. Each individual person has their own weaknesses. And if you focus on who you are as a whole and what your identity is as a person, it'll allow you to then delve into what your identity is as an artist.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful, because you can tell those artists that are genuine and those that are not.
Right.
Because ones that are genuine, they just have that honesty and vulnerability and genuineness. Whereas there's some, and I was speaking about this the other day on one of my other episodes, and we were talking about back in the day, like the pop stars like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, like they used to be those cookie cutter pop people, right? But now the stars are just like Ariana Grande and Demi Lovato and Lady Gaga, and these people that are really pushing the bar when it comes to vulnerability and honesty and mental health. And I think it's so good that that's the way music has turned, because 15, 20 years ago, it was not that way.
Right. I remember looking up to those, that was like my generation. And when I was a young girl, and I remember thinking how unattainable that felt for me. I never really could relate to a Britney or a Christina or any of that. That just wasn't my cup of tea. Now, when Kelly Clarkson came along, I was like, yeah, she's cool. She's down to earth. I love her energy, and she can just blow the roof off of places, and Pink, same too. Those are the type of artists that I really felt like I was like, okay, look at these girls, like you can really kind of shatter that, you know, instead of the over sexualized or, you know, super processed type of vocals that never was a part of who I am as a person or what I wanted to, what worked, you know, for somebody else. Again, doesn't always,
Mhm.
not always going to work for you. And if you try to fit that mold, you're not staying true to yourself, you know? So yeah, I'm really excited about that too. You know, there have been many changes in the music industry. We're going through one right now, you know, once all the record companies and all these big artists can't churn out the music that they used to, you know, I really feel a surge of independent artists and people who are like a new wave of musicians who are coming up and killing the game because they had that opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Bobby. So cool to see so many friends in here. Thank you for taking the time to pop in, guys. And thank you, Ashley, again for having me on your show.
Yes. And I know all these names keep popping up and people keep saying things. We're like, hey, I don't know some of these people, but hey. How would you describe the music that you create?
Hi, Sienna. This is one of my vocal students. She's really cool. The music I create, so I try to just write from my heart. That sounds like kind of corny, but I believe that, you know, my mission always for my music is to share my testimony, share what I've been through in my life, so that people know, oh, if she's been there, oh, that's something that I can relate to. Oh, those lyrics are something that really, you know, make me feel like I know what she's talking about. I've been through that too, and you know, I really do want to spread a message of hope and, you know, positivity, you know, moving forward. And when I came out with Bear last year, you know, it was a step in a direction of saying, okay, here I go. Like, I'm going to come out with a solo record for the very first time, which is crazy considering how many years it took me to get there, you know. But I really wanted to just break down those walls that I had. And even though, you know, it's kind of like, but before I had a great deal of success, you know, in performing and years and years of experience. And then I quit my job, my full-time job when I think I was 21, and started doing music full-time. That's when I found EDM artists through SoundCloud, and like one after the other, I started just writing top-line vocals for EDM and producing house music, and I loved it. It was a great living, but like it was all songs that they made, you know, and that transitioned me into making the songs that I wanted to. And I came out with Bear, which is, you know, heavily pop. You know, it's, you know, popish, like, you know, it's pop music. And because I really wanted to reach as many people as possible with this message of, you know, you can bear it all, you've been through whatever, you know, but you're still a badass. You know, can I say badass on you know what I mean? Like just overcoming things and really going after it. Now, and that record, you know, the new music I have coming out is a full 180, you know, from that. So it's all live instruments. You know, I wrote these songs with my band, and I can't wait to show everybody them. It's going to be really cool to veer away from the production and, you know, the instruments that are, you know, created in the computer, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but I've always loved the feeling of the live band, you know, of really having that emotion whenever you have so many people that are feeling the same thing on stage and really delivering it in a way that maybe one person, it doesn't have the same, it's just a different thing, you know, it's not the same chemistry, it doesn't have the same delivery. So I'm super excited to do that and to share that with everybody.
Mm-hmm. So your full band, talk to us about your band, the formation about it, what you have coming down the line.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that actually. Um, it's always something that I wanted to do, but you know, last year around, November, December, I just got so sad and really depressed. I was in a bad place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, everything, and I lost my motivation to create, and it went on for a very long time. And I kind of realized in March, when everything started shutting down, I looked at my life and what I was enduring, and I was like, man, everybody's talking about how much their life has changed during this shutdown, but I've been holed up for a while now, and maybe this isn't like the most healthy way to be, and it really, I had a bunch, quite a few life experiences and that forced me to completely start over and really focus on myself again. And I, started therapy, which was freaking awesome. And I think everybody should have like an unbiased opinion about like what you've been through. And somebody who's a professional who could be like, you're not weird. Everybody goes through this. You know what I mean? Like to just be completely open with, and started the meditation and the yoga, and really found what I was interested in again, what I could do to be the best mother possible and daughter possible, friend, everything. And so that happened really around May, and I got the opportunity to really delve in deep and say, what do I want? What does my future look like? If Savannah could have it her way, what is 1 year from now, 5 years from now? What does down the line look like for me? And I had this epiphany of how you have to do music again. But you have to do it in the way that you know best, that you love the best. And I went back to remembering how I felt, in my early years, when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, leading a band and playing live, and just the electricity that happens from that. And I was like, man, I just want a real band with all real instruments, with like, that's what I want. That's where I see myself, like being a part of a unit. I've never been somebody who, and this might like sound not true, but I've never been somebody who just wants the spotlight all to themselves. And that's strange for coming out of the mouth of a solo artist. But even when I was doing music videos before, I loved to shine light on the people behind the scenes, and everybody that, do a spotlight on everybody that it takes to do that kind of thing. And whenever I was able to play live shows with the bare material, even though it was heavily produced, I always wanted to give my musicians solos and to play with a band and have them play the music that I created. And that's just always been what I've wanted. And so I got together with Brandon, my drummer, and in the beginning of, or I guess at the end of May, and that relationship really allowed me to start writing songs just with drums and vocals, no keys, no guitar, no nothing. Like we were just jamming out,
Yeah.
and I could freestyle again. I could write my melodies again. This gate that had felt like it had been closed for so long when I wasn't in a good place. It felt like it was finally lifted, and I had the freedom of expression to let my creativity flow again. And in the past, whenever I was really hard on myself about like, you need to be creating, you need to be creating, you need to be creating, I was told that, I need to, stay home and just focus on learning certain things and on just pumping out songs. And it made it to where I didn't have the passion for it anymore, because it felt like something that I was not succeeding at, or that I wasn't doing correctly. And that really rocked me, because I thought, wow, this is such a big part of my identity. Like, how am I not doing well? Why am I not doing what's expected of me here? And once I lifted up that expectation, I was able to really start getting in touch with that flow again. And it felt so freeing. And, over the past few months, I guess, it'll be 6 months at the end of this, not only was I able to create, I was, I got the relationships built, and it was like, wow, you know, I'm surrounded by people that are a positive influence in my life, that are supporting me, that are uplifting me. You know, I found, you know, more of who I am as a person, to where I couldn't be rocked by anybody negative. Like, you know, like I was like, no, you know, I know who I am. And that really allowed me to create as I wanted to. So we started off with just drums and vocals, and we made a trip to LA, got to see our friend Sarah and drive there and really, you know, do what has been on my heart for so long. And especially having Brandon, he's in the back. I don't, but
He's back there somewhere.
you know, to, you know, it's like we'd been working together for 2 years, you know, before, so it was really great to have that support and foundation to start this new project. And this new project, heck yeah, we started out. Was Alex the first one who joined us?
Yes.
Who was Alex? So
Alex Perez.
Alex Perez. So we started out with just the two of us, you know, and we had all these ideas and laid them down and really invested in them. And then we added a guitarist that Brandon knew, and he's just so great. And then and it was about August, September, our keyboard player and our bass player fell into place. And then by October, we recorded our first single. And it's crazy to me because it shows you, it goes to show that if you're trying to force something, if you're going against the flow, it's not right for you. Like, I believe that if you are truly doing what you need to be doing, that things fall into place. I had been hitting the pavement and focusing solely on writing and learning Pro Tools and all this crazy stuff for a year, and I got nowhere because I was trying to force the wrong process. I wasn't being true to myself. You know, I wasn't around the right people. And the second I was able to be in a better environment and really follow my heart and what I wanted instead of listening to other people, I was able to create easily. And now we have like songs or something like that. And in a few months, we played our first show a couple weeks ago, and it was like we'd been playing together for years. You know, it was just right. So it's just goes to show that if something is meant for you, it falls into place. It doesn't mean that it's easy. The challenge is never easy. There's everything that you encounter is you're going to have difficult times with it. I just mean that the good will outweigh the bad. You know, you'll know when it's right and when it isn't. And you get to have that gut feeling about it. You're like, okay, well, this is a challenge, but this is something that I can overcome. So I think I went off a bit there.
But the thing is, it's like you talked about those positive people, right? You eliminated those people that weren't really that great with you, and you chose to be around positive people that inspired you. And then you did the therapy, and and then you said, like, let me just listen to like what's going on inside. And that's when it all came to the surface and it really fell into place.
Absolutely. I think that it's important to recognize when somebody isn't healthy for you. And this is for couples and for friends. And it's a difficult thing to do, but the best thing to do with a toxic person is just to cut them off. It's like when a plant is growing, you know, if you don't trim back the dead stuff, your plant's not going to grow. And that cut doesn't hurt. It just means that you have to be able to cultivate your own growth. And if somebody isn't on the same, path as you, or, is envious of your success or trying to bring you down, or, not somebody who can really contribute to your life. I think as we get older, we realize like who is good for us and who isn't. And sometimes we're reluctant to let go of those people, especially if we have a long history with them.
Right.
But that like people are so ever changing that having the expectation of somebody growing at the same rate as you do or in the same direction is just it's not realistic. So whenever somebody is bringing you down, it's very important to recognize that. And the greatest thing that you can protect is your own peace and your own happiness.
Right. That's so powerful too. It's like you just have to focus on yourself, and they're either coming or going. You're
Right.
either on the train, right?
100%. 100%. I agree.
You've covered songs by Jessie J, Demi Lovato, Andrea Day. What musicians do you admire?
I mean, all of them. Anybody who has the heart to do this, I admire. I don't necessarily, have specific artists that I have people that I enjoy their music, but at the same time, I kind of listen to a different genre depending on my activities. Like I'll go from anywhere from listening to death metal while I'm, exercising to jazz and blues or like classical music and, house and funk. I love funk, neo soul, R&B, all of this stuff. There's no specific person that I'm like, oh, that's it, but anybody who can stay true to themselves and absolutely genuine in their career is somebody that I respect, because it's not an easy place to be. You're basically having to fight for your life, and you have to make that decision you have to really commit to that decision, because there's really nothing that you can do with one foot in it and one foot out of it.
Yeah.
You
Go all in.
have to. You can't.
Yeah.
You've got to sacrifice a lot. You're not going to be living the same life as your friends that are, you know, not following that same path. You're going to miss out on gatherings. You're going to miss out on being able to buy yourself things that you think, everybody else has, because you're investing so much in your craft, and that stuff is expensive, like it's an expensive investment time wise and monetarily. And I really do respect the people who are disciplined enough and have the drive enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
you know
So you said you listen to a lot of different music, like death metal, jazz and blues, funk.
yeah.
Um, is there anything specifically that sticks out to you that like you've been listening to this past week?
This past week, um that's a great question. I think that I've been really getting into, Tom Misch for a while now. I love Snarky Puppies, and which is, instrumental. I love music that is live,
Right.
music, live instruments. I'm like, man, that key solo was so sick. Like I enjoy listening to musicianship. And you can tell people are experts and when they really know how to play, not just to as an individual. There's a lot of people who are technically skilled, but I really enjoy music that is created as a unit in that live music style. The cool thing about like Tom Misch and Yusuf Days and Jordan Reiki or Kai, I don't know how he pronounces it, but they're pretty much all like London based, and they just get together and jam and make music and, have their own separate acts, and then they get together, and it's really cool. So, yeah, I guess I would say that I'm into that right now, really heavily. That's Alpha Mist on the keys. So that's the stuff that I really like to listen to. I don't do really any radio listening, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think people have kind of gone away from the radio just because everyone's on Spotify right now and SoundCloud and Tidal and Apple Music. And so it's kind of like, oh, I'm listening to this. And then they recommend this. And they say, oh, because you listen to this, we think you like this.
Yeah, I love finding new music. If anybody has any suggestions on who you think I should check out, please leave it in the comments, because I will check it out.
I'm always looking to, and that's why I asked the question, like, what do people listen to? Like, what do you listen to? Because, like, I'm always interested in what other people are listening to, too, because maybe you're listening to an album from 30 years ago, and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of it. Let me check it out.
Yes, 100%.
Who would you most like to collaborate with?
Oh my gosh, I've never thought about that before. Um, That's a good question too. Oh, Ashley, you're getting me with these ones. Let's see. Yeah, it would be so dope to collaborate with Tom Misch and his whole group. Like, I just want to be even just a fly on the wall with that experience. Who else? Who else? Who else? I know that I know, but I'm just not able to be like, yes, this is it. It's like, well, let me see. I I love I just love creating music, and I don't think it's so much about like who I'm creating music with as it is like what comes out, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
I know that's a little convoluted of an answer. It's not really a straight answer, but at the same time, it's like,
No, you're totally fine.
like Matt Nixon is a really cool one too. He's pretty underrated. I don't know why more people don't know. Donna Missile, Dive. Oh, man, there's just so many. I love, again, all different types, and just the opportunity to make something out of nothing with another human is like, whoa. Whenever my band and I first got together, after Brandon and I had been working on just these drum and vocal tracks, it was like seeing the things that were inside of my head come alive by somebody else. And even if I couldn't articulate it perfectly, hi, Danielle. I'm so happy you're here. Even if I couldn't articulate it perfectly because I don't have this expertise in bass or keys or guitar, it was like they could see inside of my head, inside of my heart, and just make these melodies that perfectly fit in with what I was thinking of. And I think that's magical. So as long as you can find that type of chemistry with another musician, the collaboration is it's going to be amazing. What you come up with is going to be so great.
Awesome. In September 2019, you opened up for Zara Larsson at House of Blues Down. How did that opportunity come about?
Oh my gosh. I worked with a great team called Creative Currency. And, they helped me so much with bookings and really getting my music out there. I love the fact that they are powerhouse women, and it was like an all girl team. They were just hitting every scene. And they really advocated for me and for my message and for what a hard worker I was, in their words. And when when the opportunity came around, they were like, man, this is a perfect fit, with what Zara does and my genre and and how my performances came at that time. And then Lorenzo helped get the booking through House of Blues and submitted my stuff to her team and to House of, and they said, yeah, let's pick her. And I was like, let's have her do it. And I was like, I remember that day so clearly because it was a dream come true. I was like, oh my god, like I'm opening like for Zara Larsson with my own original music. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god. Like, the last time I've been at House of Blues was when I was watching Bishop Briggs, and I was in the audience, and I'd never played that stage before. So it was so meaningful to me to like grace the same legendary place that so many of the people that I looked up to had been, and then to be in the same on the same bill as somebody that I loved, because I really do respect Zara Larsson a lot, and we got to hang out with her after the show and her band and her dancers, and it was a really cool experience to be like, wow, they're just like all of us, like. And that whole day was just like, we did some behind the scenes footage with one of my best friends, Stacey, and she's also a really cool, amazing pop artist you should check out. And it was like surreal, to be in that position. And I felt so grateful and humbled because there are so many amazing, musicians, but, to actually be able to break that and be on that stage, it, it was just, it was so affirming, of the work that I'd put in to get there.
And so it's so cool because you think, oh, how many people, sent in their own music? to open for her, right? And then you beat all of them out and you opened in the place that you saw so many other amazing artists perform. And you're like, oh my God, now I'm on the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it was very affirming. It really was. And I loved the way that it made me feel really great that my band could experience that with me, you know,
Mhm.
because they deserve it. They're incredible musicians, and it was really cool that, you know, the guys that I had playing and girl that I had playing with me at the time, just like that we could share that together and have that experience. It's great. Great.
Hey, what are your other favorite venues to play at?
I loved playing at the Granada. Uh,
Hmm.
Trees was great. Curtain Club, uh, you know, Dallas has so many, well, you know, venues that have been historical. And that's why it kind of makes me sad to talk about it now because of what we're going through with the shutdowns and things. You know, so many of these venues are going to be permanently gone. You know, can't keep up with, they can't keep their doors open because they've been forced to, you know, close for so long. And it's just like, I believe that, you know, I feel very strongly about the fact that we are, or not people individually, but especially like the way that the government is handling it right now is it's diminishing entertainment in such a way, or it's not really supporting, you know, these music venues and these artists like they should, you know, because especially since all that people are doing right now and all they could do during lockdown was consume art and listen to music, read and stuff, and like watch show. It's like, okay, well, let's prioritize this. So it does make me kind of sad thinking about the venues that are being affected by this. But, you know, I'm grateful that last year I really got to hit them, you know, and had that opportunity to play with amazing artists and be on those stages again that are legendary. There's been so many amazing people that have come through Dallas, and I sang at the American Airlines Center, which was pretty crazy. You know, it's so huge, and they got it down, man. You know, it's always fun to sing at places where it's like, oh man, these people know what they've been doing. Like, this is a really tight ship.
Yeah.
So fun to be a part of that. But yeah, so I would say all of them. You know, really. I played to two people in a dingy bar, and I played to, you know, tens of thousands of people. It doesn't really make a difference to me, honestly. I just perform.
I admire your positivity and the way you inspire everybody around you. What can you share about your journey and how people can empower themselves?
Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. I would say that I believe that there's much more to life than the negativity, the bad things that happen to us. You know, I think as an artist, I've really only wanted to focus on overcoming. You know, I never wanted to, it was never my goal to pretend like everything is rainbows and sunshine. You
Mhm.
know, that's toxic positivity. It's like everything's all right all the time. No, that's never been something that I've wanted to portray. I don't think that that's real. So I try to stay positive in the sense that if we focus on what we've already been through, what we've overcome, what lies ahead of us that is great, and what we have to be grateful for, that we really will change our lives. You know, you got it. There are so many people that, and man, I am not dogging this at all. It's just different for me. Like, if you want to put out these heartbreaking songs, which I believe are incredibly necessary because that's a part of the human experience is to experience pain. And if you want to relate that to people and let there be music that people can cry to. Like, I think that that's amazing, and I applaud people who can do that. Since I began, with the solo career, with the, cancer awareness group, with everything, has just always been about having that message of hope and endurance and the fact that you can go on. Because I've been in incredibly low places in my life, and I've had really terrible experiences, just like everybody else. And my mission is to not diminish those experiences or say that, oh, well, you should just be happy because you got more. It's just to say, yes, we have all been in pain, but that's not it. That's not the end of the story. There's so much more than that. And I think that's why, and I'm just kind of generally a happy person. And I think that a lot of the people that want to spread positivity are the people that have been in those really low mental and those mental places, and like felt really awful and terrible and experienced hardships. I believe that a lot of those people we do want to do our best to make sure that if anybody else feels that way, they know that they're not alone, and they know that, again, it's not the end of their story.
We're all in this together. We really are.
9,000%. It's crazy how much of a difference it makes to have a globally shared difficulty. I don't know. We are experiencing an unprecedented amount of a group, worldwide,
Mm-hmm.
the same types of challenges and difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's opened up a lot of perspective about how similar we are as people. No matter where we are in the world, everybody struggles. And whenever we have been faced with this, pandemic that has affected everybody in the world, it's interesting to see how much it brings us together, having that common ground. And that gives me hope, that regardless of what the next day brings, that we have humanity. And I believe that humanity as a whole is good, regardless of the evil that might be in this world and the suffering and the badness. I think that a lot of people just want to be good and do good because it feels better to love, even though it might be more difficult at the time.
Mm-hmm. So this is the part of the show where you're going to perform for us. So take it away.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. This is the part where I'm going to play the song and sing along.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah. Is that okay? This is Brandon.
Hello.
So we made this song together. It started out with just drums and vocals. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was cool because in the beginning, just a little rundown because this is really different than the Savannah Low stuff. In the beginning, it was voices and beating on rocks and stuff, like in the very beginning of humankind. The first music that was made was, with your voice and with drums. So it was kind of a cool way to start it. And this is how we started. This is the song. I'm gonna play it on this little speaker and sing along to it.
I still beat on rocks, for the record. Very true.
Not true. So yeah, this is the song. Before we do this, I want to put in comments that we are launching this new project called Savannah and the Lows. This is going to be where all of our new music is. Yeah. This is our first single that I'm about to play and sing along with for you. And it's really exciting because this is all live instruments, all live music. No production at all, nothing computerized. So, is that a word? Computerized? nothing electronic. We're just doing it all live. And we recorded this at Empire Studios. This is going to be our first single, and it will be releasing very, very soon. We just filmed a music video last weekend for it. So when the music video is done, we get to share it with you guys. And I'm so very excited for it and to share it with you now. You're the first people to hear the recording. So I hope you like it. I'm going to sing along. Let's see. And Ashley, if you want to give me a thumbs up or down whenever it comes to, like, if I can turn the music up or sing louder, do that.
Okay.
This is new for me. I would love to do it with my band, but that would have been really difficult to coordinate. Yeah, 5 pieces, So this has yours truly on vocals. We got Brianne Sargent on the bass. We have Alexander Perez on the guitar, and Warren Willis on the keys, and Brandon Burkhalter on the drums. This is Better Days. Let's do it, guys. If you like it, go follow the Instagram, please, and you'll be the first to know about all of our new stuff. Cool. Boom. I'm going to move this here. Is it playing? Boom, boom, boom. Play. 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 I do not speak technology well. Play. 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 Do it. Please. Okay. I'm going to refresh.
So guys, if you have any questions for Savannah while she's getting this all up and running, please type them in the chat below and we will get to them after the performance.
Oh, great idea. I love questions. Too, so don't be scared. Oh, here it is. You said you lived in the past, and that's what's got you so depressed. Just know your problems never last. Throw all your troubles in the trash. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Yeah. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Ooh, I don't know, babe, where you been, but I know you keep walking. Stop saying life in black and white. You know that thinking just ain't right. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Hey, yeah. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. This is our new song, Savannah and the Lows. Check it out in the comments. Go follow us to get on the train for the music video and the single dropping. Know that better days are coming. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Hey, yeah. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Oh, better days are coming. Hey, yeah. Better days are coming. Better days are coming.
Yay! So when does that song officially come out?
I haven't decided. It might be my birthday week in December, on like the first of December. We're probably gonna get the music video back around the 28th, so I'm super excited about that. It was so cool doing a full performance video. You know, it was my first time directing a video with a band, all live instruments. So it was so intimidating, but everybody was on it, and I'm so lucky to be working with these incredible musicians. So yeah, I'm hoping that it'll come out in the next few weeks. But please, if you guys follow the account, I promise to keep everybody up to date. We have so much cool stuff, you know, coming in the works and down the pipeline.
Yes, if you don't already, please make sure to follow Savannah, her account, and her account, which is pinned in the comments below. Also, if you don't already, please follow me because I interview amazing musicians all the time, just like Savannah. So Savannah, plug everything where you are right now, like your Spotify, all that good stuff for everybody in the chat.
Oh, for sure. So the Spotify is Savannah Low. Please follow me on Facebook. We can be friends. Instagram, all that stuff. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music. You can stream everywhere you're streaming music, you know. That's where I am, Savannah Low.
Awesome. So we have a time for like one question, but then it's going to cut us off. So how did you know the love for music?
Music kind of saved me. You know, if I didn't have it, I probably would be in a very different place. I experienced some like childhood trauma, and you know, my mom being a cancer survivor, and then when I was 9, close ready. When I was 9, my father had a open heart surgery, and my mom's about to be 70, my dad's 81, and you know, it was really difficult to be in that space of thinking that, you know, you're going to lose your parents. And it helped me to have an outlet for what I was experiencing and the pain that I was going through and the uncertainty that I had as a child. I really turned to music quite a lot, and I'm so grateful for my folks for, you know, supporting me with my love and putting me in vocal lessons very early on, and really letting me pursue what I knew I wanted to do, what I knew I loved, because it helped me so much that I wanted to use it to help others. And there's nothing I like to do more than sing.
And we can tell we can tell the passion that you have for singing. Like it is, I mean, honestly, just your smile and your energy and your positivity. For those of you who don't already know Savannah, if you look on her Instagram, it's like every time she posts, it's like a big smile, sunshine, ray of like inspiration, and I love it because it's like I need some inspiration today. So then I go to your page. So
oh, that makes it feel so good. I can't tell you, that's everything to me. If I can make one person feel good, that's like, I'm like an Enneagram 2, and my love language is acts of service. So like I'm all about like,
yes, I love it. I think it's amazing, amazing. So I'm so sorry. Our time is up. So I just want to say thank you so much, Savannah, for joining me, sharing your gift with us, being so open and honest and genuine about your experience and your musical journey. And like I said, if you don't follow Savannah already, please follow her on Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram. Please follow her new band. It's pinned below. Please follow me if you don't already, because like I said, I do incredible musicians all the time. Any last words from you, Savannah?
Oh, just thank you for having me on and giving me the opportunity to share this new stuff. And thank you for the platform that you're creating for artists to be able to speak, their truths and share their music. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We'll have a wonderful evening and stay safe. And we look forward to much more music from you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody who joined in. I really appreciate you taking the time to check it out. It means the world to me. And it's so nice to meet all the new friends.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your support. Have a good night and stay safe.
You too. Bye, Ashley. Thanks again.